不要带上的。我的错，坏的。那自己说话的时候，是的。Yes. Yes.
The translators on the way will begin in approximately 2 minutes. Hello, we are joined by Trace Esports, who are coming off of their match against G2. We'll begin with questions from the remote media and then move on to the in-house media. We'll take the first question from Miguel from Sons of KS.
Hello. Thank you for the opportunity. Hello, guys. Sorry for the result today. You had to face one of the toughest opponents on the competition. And sometimes in defeat, we tend to focus on mistakes rather than things we did right. So this is a question for a coach destroyer. What would you say are the best things that you saw on your team on today's match? Thank you.
这个问题给到教练，因为今天是遗憾落败了嘛，但是有的时候我们去发现今天打得好的地方，可能会去比关注结果更重要。所以你认为今天打得好的地方有哪些呢？
我觉得今天打得不太好吧，打得好的地方可能就是，还是打了一些训练赛，就是训练出来的东西。
Well, generally speaking, I don't think that we performed well today. But we did like show something that we have practiced in the scrims.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from Pedro Romero.
Yes. First off, commiserations on this series last week. Hopefully, you guys can bounce back in the next one. I want to send this question over to Bianc. More specifically, again, focusing on the match at hand. Given that you guys had to go up against G2 in this encounter, I want to ask you just sort of on a general sense, what did you feel was the biggest like obstacle that your squad faced against them, and also like how do you kind of view the current level of your team, with one match finished in this tournament run?
这个问题想问一下小编，因为今天你们面对到的 G2 是非常强大的对手。今天在交手的过程中，你认为遇到的最大的困难是什么？以及通过这场比赛，你会如何去接下来进一步建设团队？
更多是在细节方面的处理吧。然后今天其实就输在细节方面上，我没有考好嘛。然后，也学习到了挺多吧，今天。
I think the biggest problem we face today is we failed dealing with some details. There might be some columns that not so good, but I think that we learn a lot in general.
Thank you. We'll take a question from the in-house media next. Hello.
这个提问问到 Loking 选手，那面对即将到来很关键的一战嘛，那下场面对 T1，觉得队伍或者自己目前最需要调整的重点是什么？
我觉得作为队伍来讲的话，可能我们需要打得更加的投入一些，就是更加的专注于比赛本身嘛。然后对于我来讲的话，我可能就需要打得更冷静一点嘛，因为很明显今天不管是队伍还是我个人来讲，都打的就是比较着急吧，然后着急就会给对面机会。那我们希望能在下一场比赛里，然后吸取今天的教训。
谢谢。
The question is for the next matchup, what can be the part that you paid attention to make adjustments? And Lucky answer from the perspective of the team, I think we need to focus more on the in-game content, and for himself, he needs to calm down a little bit, chill. Today, both team and himself was in a hurry and gave out a lot of chances for the opponents to win that round. So for the next match, they're 100% to fix those problems.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from Sage.
Hi. So I just wanted to quickly ask you about your next matchup against T1 and just your. Oh, sorry, this is for Destroy, but I just wanted to ask you about the upcoming matchup against T1 and if you have any thoughts on that series and some of the strengths and things that you're going to try to capitalize on to win.
这个问题想问到教练，下一场你们即将面对到 T1，你对此有什么想法呢？然后在哪些方面是需要去重点关注的
？T1 其实可能在正式比赛里面没有怎么交手嘛，但是在亚特训练赛里面还是打了很多的，所以我们也算比较了解吧。然后我觉得我们只需要就是把自己状态调整到最好就可以了。
To be honest, with T1, we didn't face them in this series so far, but we practice a lot in the scrim, so I think I know T1 quite well. And what we need to do for the next step is adjusting our form to the best.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from Pedro Romero.
Yes, I'm gonna send this one over to Hebei. Of all of the 8 teams that are competing in this Masters Bangkok tournament, 2 of them do so with the same squad from last year. First one is EDG, and the second one is this team, Trace Esports. What I want to ask you in particular, Hebei, is how has the team progressed from the top of their game, figuratively and also literally.
这个问题想问到黑贝，因为去年 EDG 和 TE 都在8支参与到冠军赛的队伍当中，现在你们也你们做了哪些，就是有哪呢？以及接下来会做什么样的调整？
我们距离是那个冠军赛嘛，就是进步的话就是交流方面是思路方面会有改变吧，但是我们这次落败了嘛，然后说要怎么改善的话，其实我们打训练赛的时候，其实也没有到今天的那种状态吧。我觉得如果迎接下一场比赛的话，就是我们哥几个把状态调整好了，就大概率能拿下这场胜利吧。
So since last time we attended the championship, after that, I think our team has made improvements on communication and some of the in-game thoughts, our strats. We made some changes on these aspects. As for like what we're gonna change in the future is like today we lost. I think it's mainly because we didn't perform at our best like we did in the scrims. So probably we will be confident to win next matchup if we turn our like form into that, like being confident.
Thank you. I think we have one question from the chat.
OK，这里是虎扑电竞。首先对今天的结果表示很可惜，然后提问 Locking 选手认为这次谁是此次曼谷大师赛上最好的控场位选手？ The question is like, first of all, much commiserations about your loss. And this question goes to Locking. Who do you think could be the best controller player in Masters Bangkok?
就目前为止的话，我觉得，还是球球吧。
要说一下为什么吗？
为什么就是他的这个个人状态保持的非常好吧？
So I think the best controller player that so far is still Chichu because in yesterday's match we could all see that he was always performing at his best.
Thank you. Sage, did you have one more question?
Yeah, I did have just one more question for Destroyer once again. I just wanted to ask because a lot of people saw China's longer break somewhat as an advantage where there's just more preparation and rest time before Bangkok. But I just wanted to get your opinion on that, if you feel it's an advantage or you feel as if there are things that you would benefit more from just immediately going from kickoff to Bangkok.
这个问题想问到 Destroyer 教练，因为网上会有很多人去说，CN 赛区在起点赛之后，其实会拥有比较长的一段休息时间来做赛前准备，以及更好的去休息。那你对此是怎么看的呢？你觉得是有好处吗？还是有一些自己的想法？
我觉得其实也不算很长时间的休息吧，因为打完系列赛之后，相当于是过了一个年嘛，那年其实大家都是有自己的事情，然后回来的话，其实训练时间也不算很长，所以可能我感觉没有把队伍的状态调整到最好吧。
So I think actually, I don't think there is quite a long time for us to get preps because after kickoff, there's Chinese Spring Festival. Like we were on vacation, we had our own things to do. So back from the vacation, we didn't have much time to practice as well. Maybe just as other regions do. Like yeah.
Thank you so much. I I believe that was the final press conference question of the night. Trace Esports, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Thank you. 谢谢。
we are going to have the 4 champions. We have the 4 region champions: America, Pacific, EMEA, and China. Jogamo did the prediction that he wanted to face Kang, and well, we're going to have that match. Right now, with the current meta, we've seen that some compositions that used to be traditional with Jet Race are being replaced by compositions using Yoru as solo duelist. So my question would be for Jogamo. Do you think that right now we are entering a new Yoru era, or is it just like the current state of the meta?
I definitely think it's the current state of the meta. I mean, there's a lot of Teho, there's a lot of Yoru, there's a lot of like reach too. So I mean, like absorbing a lot of utility and getting out of the win is pretty broken in my opinion. So that's why we've been kind of pressing the Yoru a little bit more. There's still some raised maps that are still good. There's still jet maps that are applied on certain maps as well, but Yoru is just like overpowered right now.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to Pedro Romero next.
Hey guys, congrats on the victory over TE today. I got a question over to Valen. I mean, it's kind of I want to tie this recent match to the one you're gonna have in a few days, the one against EDG. I mean, given that you previously faced against EDG back in Champions, I want to ask you just sort of how do you view the current, or more so differentiate the form that team is going on, and also given that you guys are coming off of a match against Trace Esports, what did you kind of get a sense, or how did you sense the Chinese game in the server, and how does that kind of compare to what you've seen between Trace and EDG?
Yeah, so I think EDG definitely has a lot of confidence in their form because they won champions last year and they won their last match as well. So they probably feel very hyped, very energetic, but so do we. So we're going to have to see who's the better team tomorrow. In terms of facing Chinese Valorant, I think that we have a good grasp on the game. We understand how to approach different compositions, different styles. And so we're very flexible in that sense. So whoever we play, we just, talk about the game, talk about how we predict it's going to go down. I'm just excited to see the Jogamo versus Kong matchup. So I'm excited to play tomorrow.
Thank you. Are there any questions from either the in-house or remote media? I feel like this might be a short one. Pedro, we'll come back to you again. Go ahead.
I'm going to send this one over to Trent. I'm looking at that t-shirt. It kind of reminds me of like the one in which Jonah P wore back in Seoul. Is it basically the same as it is, from back then, just promoting the bundle and all that good stuff? And also, if you can translate what that means, then that'll also be good.
Yeah, it's basically just promoting the bundle.
It says
No, but what does it say?
please buy the G2 bundle.
Cup.
Cup.
Can you try to say it in Thai?
No, I have no idea how to pronounce this.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go to Alejandro next.
Yeah, I have a question for anyone who wants to answer it, and it's that this is the second time that you will be facing EDG, and I just want to ask, what will be the most important thing to do now, since now is there a duelist change, and maybe EDG know what is your strat because you already beat them in the past. So what's going to be the different thing that is going to change to beat them again?
Yeah. All right, I got it. What would change? I think the meta has shifted a lot since the last time they played. They were the masters at playing Neon, and they kind of pushed that into the whole scene. But now I feel like we're ahead in the meta. I think we're spearheading it. We're making sure like everybody sees how we play, and I feel like the dynamic here, the matchup will be a little bit different. But at the end of the day, it's EDG. There's big performers on the other side, but we also have big shooters.
Thank you. We'll go next to Miguel.
Thank you. My question would be for Valen. Back a couple of days on the pre-event conference, you mentioned that the incorporation of Juggernaut to the team bring more confidence that maybe you didn't have last year, and you had a great start. I mean, you started winning kickoff on the league, and right now you are off to a strong start here at Masters. What would be the current feeling of the team with the trophy in your hands, and right now with this win?
I mean, when I look to my right and I look to my left, I just see the best players in every single role, to be honest. And so I have max confidence going into every game. Like, I have the best supports with Trent and Jonah P, the best duelist, and Leaf can play everything. So being the IGL this year feels like I have a very simple responsibility, and that's just to make sure I put my guys in the best situations possible. Because if I can do that properly, I know they will thrive and they'll win the game for me. I don't even have to do anything. So shout out to my team. They're the best team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cub. Thank you, Cub.
Thank you. We'll go back to Pedro for the next question.
Send this one out to Jogimo. I know that you said a little bit at the start of this conference regarding like your play on Yoru, and given the fact that like literally before this year you've only played Yoru once in a map, in one map. Pretty crazy, but nevertheless, what I want to ask you though is as of now, you know, with having plenty of Yoru maps logged in under your belt, do you feel like you're like 100% comfortable, or do you feel like not as well, do you feel like you're not there yet? Where do you kind of see that level for you?
Yeah, definitely for Yoru, there's always room to improve. There's a lot of stuff that you don't get to do on Yoru that you get to do on like Raze or Jet, whatever the case is. But the creativity is like all there for it. So I think the help of Josh and my teammates like helping me figure out what's the best ideal situation for certain stuff. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do it without them. So yeah.
Thank you. I believe that was the last. If we have a question on site, go ahead.
Hello, guys. Congrats with the win. I'm Solera from VOR.GG. I have two questions, if that's okay. My first question will be to Jogimo. So you're going against Kang, and there will be extra tension, extra pressure on you. So I was curious if there's any. I know that you said multiple times in the interviews that you don't care about other people, you only focus on what you are doing. But I was curious if there's any extra mental preparations that you do before big matchup against like strong duelist.
I definitely don't look at the name or who I'm playing. I don't really think about what team we're playing. It's like I kind of figure out their tendencies throughout the match, especially my teammates. They know how to like counter majority duelists. I mean, I've been that duelist where they countered me at 1.2 when I was on EG. So I don't really have any pressure or anything like that. I mean, I get to play against another world champ. I think that's like the best part about it all. But it definitely definitely get to see who's the better one tomorrow. So yeah.
Super excited to see it. Thank you. And my second question is to Valen. And it's super short. Is America cooked?
We're here to save America.
Great to hear. Thank you so much. Good luck
America.
in the next round.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Buy G2 and EDG bundle.
Yeah. And Talon bundle.
And Talon.
And Pedro, I feel like you will have the last question of the night. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna send this one to Josh. I mean, we've now been able to see all 8 teams play their first match in this competition, your team included. But what I want to ask you, sort of out of curiosity, is sort of given that the game and also the season is at a very early stage, and we've seen plenty of teams tweak things either like during this match or during this event or even during kickoff. How do you kind of view the current meta right now? And also, what do you think that's the one thing that stood out to you the most in terms of just trying to navigate all of that wildness so far in this phase of the year?
Looking at the field, I think there's one team that stands out in my mind. I have high respect for this coach and how he ran his team for many years, and that's DRX. I think they have a really solid read on the meta currently, and I was thoroughly impressed when they were able to make that turnaround after about like a week after they finished first in their region. Like we had a tough time playing against Sentinels, and I saw them dismantle Sentinels with 2 new compositions, and they were using new ideas that I really enjoyed watching. So like I'm excited to see more from them.
G2, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. This will conclude the press conference.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. There you go.